This man was richer than most countries. He burned money just to keep his daughter warm. So what would he buy today? $30 billion. That's not a country's budget. That's one man's pocket money. His name was Pablo Escobar. What if the richest criminal in history woke up today and went shopping? Pablo Escobar. Colombia. The 1980s. The man who controlled 80% of the world's cocaine market. At the peak of his power, he was making $420 million a week. Not a year. Not a month. Every single week. His fortune is estimated at $30 billion. And that's only what could be traced. Today we're asking one simple question. If Escobar were alive in 2026, what could he buy? From everyday items to the most absurd things that exist on this planet. Let's start simple with the stuff you and I buy. iPhone 16 Pro Max. Costs around $1,200. Escobar could have bought 25 million of them. That means handing an iPhone to every single person in Australia and still having leftovers. Nike Air Jordan ones. Around $180 a pair. He could have bought 166 million pairs. A flight from Bogota to Miami. About $400. That's 75 million flights. He could fly back and forth every single day for 102,000 years straight. Funny? Just wait. It gets better. Lamborghini Urus. $230,000. Escobar could have bought 130,000 of them. For context, Lamborghini sells around 10,000 cars per year worldwide, meaning he'd wipe out 13 years of their entire production in one go. Bugatti Chiron Supersport, the pinnacle of luxury. $3.9 million. He could have bought 7,700 of them and lined them up bumper to bumper from New York to Chicago. Now let's talk real estate. The most expensive penthouse in Manhattan ever sold went for $238 million. Escobar could have bought 126 of those penthouses. Dubai cost roughly $300 billion to build in total. He wouldn't have enough for all of it, but he could have funded 10% of Dubai straight from his own pocket, or simply bought 600 private islands in the Maldives and started his own country. Into football? Escobar was too. FC Barcelona is worth around $5 billion today. He could have bought the club, sold it, bought it again. 6 times over. Want all of football at once? All 20 Premier League clubs together are worth about $20 billion. He'd have enough, with money left over for the NBA. Formula One? The Mercedes F1 team is worth around $1.5 billion. He could have bought 20 F1 teams, literally the entire championship, and raced against himself. A ticket to a Taylor Swift concert, around $500 on average. 60 million tickets. He could have sent the entire population of Italy to her show. On his tab, 3 times. Now we go beyond all reason. USS Gerald Ford, the most expensive warship ever built. $13 billion. Escobar could have bought 2 aircraft carriers and still had money left for a support fleet. SpaceX is valued at $350 billion. He couldn't afford it, but he could have funded 85 Falcon Heavy launches. Just for fun. NASA. Annual budget. Around $25 billion. Escobar alone could have bankrolled NASA for over a year. Elon Musk bought Twitter/X for $44 billion. Escobar could have covered it, with enough left over for a yacht. Speaking of yachts, Azam, the largest private yacht in the world. $600 million. He could have bought 50 of them, and lined them up from Colombia to Miami. Ready for the finale? Hold on, the entire U.S. gold reserve, about $400 billion sitting in Fort Knox. Not enough to buy it all, but he could have purchased 7.5% of all American gold, in cash, Antarctica. Officially not for sale, but if it were, at 14 million square kilometers, we're talking trillions, out of his range. But he could have literally bought entire small nations. Now, the wildest facts. Escobar spent $2,500 every month just on rubber bands to wrap his cash. In 2026, that's enough to buy 2 brand new iPhones every month, just for the rubber bands. and when his daughter was cold while they were on the run, he burned $2 million in cash right there in the room, just to stay warm. Pablo Escobar died in 1993. He was 44 years old. His entire fortune, hidden, seized, burned, or still undiscovered. Some estimates say $500 million to $2 billion is still buried somewhere in the jungles of Colombia. He could have bought yachts, islands, aircraft carriers, and football clubs. But in the end, he died on the roof of an ordinary house in Medellin, the day after his own birthday. Money solves a lot, but apparently, not everything. If you made it to the end, you now know more about Escobar than 99% of people. Drop a like if you found this interesting. See you in the next one.